Punch Man Season 2 Episode 3. I know it's only been 3 episodes, but by far, this was the best episode that we had. So far in this season, and this episode was all about Garou and martial arts. Garou vs Tank Top Master was the highlight of this episode, so let's talk about it. This episode starts off with Silver Fang kicking out Chiranko, mainly due to the fact because Garou used to be Silver Fang's top disciple. But now that he's on this rampage attacking all the heroes, he knows that he will go after him next, so this was only for protection of Chiranko. And I love how Genos was describing Garou's character, the human who claims himself as a monster, because it hyped up the transition of what we were going to see right after this moment, seeing the determination and path Garou is willing to go on becoming a monster. And this whole fight between him and Tank Top Master was so important because Tank Top Master was so conflicted fighting Garou because he couldn't rationalize the fact that this guy is more than just a human, because he felt Garou's aura, his presence, it was more than just human, it was beast-like. And this is one of the best fights that was in a manga, so I was really concerned how they will pull this off, and they did well with it, because this is the part in the manga where you finally get to see Garou's fighting style, the choreograph, the dialogue, everything about this whole fight sequence was awesome. And you get to understand why Silver Fang kicked out Chiranko out of his dojo, because Garou mastered the style that Silver Fang teach his disciple, the Fist of Flowing Waters. And Garou definitely gives you this vibe of a fighting maniac. You know, he loves fighting. He's just a psycho about it. It's almost as if he gets like a Zenkai boost and adapts to someone's style in mid-fight. And the way that Garou displayed Fist of Flowing Waters in this episode makes me love the technique even more. You know, I really never paid attention to the technique in last season, but now it made me more interested in Garou's character and also Silver Fang's character, because now they have a technique that I love seeing. Now it reminds me of that Bruce Lee vibe, the way they stand. And Garou is such a beast at it, which is why Silver Fang had to get his own bro to help him join to find Garou to stop him. And I love the direction how Chiranko feels the burden. You know, he feels like he has to be the one to stop Garou, being the last student of Silver Fang, but we know that he is completely outclassed. Even though Silver Fang kicked out Chiranko and wanted to avoid any damage caused on him, he seemed that he put his life on a line to attempt to stop Garou, and it failed. And Garou left a bloody mess. And you get to see more of this psycho mindset where the little boy was reading the book of all the heroes and villains in the society, but Garou is more interested in the monsters. And it's funny because, you know, the little boy think he's all weird because he's so interested in monsters. He's like Deku. You know how Deku is so interested and such a fanboy of All Might? Well, that is Garou when it comes to monsters. He is such a fanboy of monsters, which is why he has an addiction of hunting heroes. And I can't wait till they explain the backstory on why Garou is the way he is. You know, the way he's so fixated on monsters and always challenging people and wanting to be the best. You know, challenging 2 A-class heroes, beating them down at the same time and not backing down at all. You know, here puts you in the mind of also Saitama. Saitama also wants to find a challenge and he always wins his fights. And Garou also is trying to find a challenge, which is why his main goal is to challenge the S-class heroes. Everybody else that he's fighting in between, like lower than S-class, he look at them as training, which is why he told Moomin Rider, help me become a monster. This is his training. And I love how Tank Top Master was telling Saitama this, and Saitama was smiling. He was excited because Tank Top Master was telling Saitama all about technique and martial arts, and Chiranko telling Saitama about the martial arts tournament that's coming up. So this makes Saitama interested in learning about more techniques and styles of martial arts, and the money he can win since Chiranko can't go and already had a spot in the competition. Saitama is taking over that, which is why at the end he went out to get himself a wig. But the funny part about all of this is that Saitama is preparing himself to face off with Garou, learning about martial arts, and he runs into Garou and Garou attacks him, and it does nothing and he doesn't even know that it's Garou. And he does the same technique, the same karate chop to Garou, even though it was a little stiff, and it just one-shots him. Game over. And that is the running gag of One Punch Man. No matter how much you hype up this villain character or a character that's slaughtering everybody, against Saitama, it's nothing. Saitama is literally God of the universe. And that was pretty much the episode. So episode rating, this time I have to give it an 8. Best episode by far. So to end it here, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed my review, make sure to smash the like button. New to the channel, subscribe for more content. I'm J Cloud, and I'm out.